Welcome back to Whitt Acres. Today I'm building a livestock trailer. Now it was freezing last night, but it warmed up into a pretty nice day right now. The ducks are enjoying a little sunbathing on the pier. How you doing, ducks? Little Maybelle. I see a girl. I think the one on the left is a girl. The one on the right with the darker head's a boy, and the one laying behind her. Everyone's still hanging out here by the koi pond, and it is looking clear right now. You can see all the way down in there. That's good. Having the ducks down here drops a lot of fertilizer in the pond, so it's good to see it actually taking it in and filtering it out. And Sedgwig is over here doing some foraging. Hey girl. At least she's not in the garden. You can see how the frost actually burned up the leaves on my gourd right here on the corner. Actually shriveled them up today. So the nights are getting down into the 30s. I actually looked at my phone this morning and it said it was 31 degrees out, but the high is supposed to be the mid 60s today and even the mid 70s tomorrow. And then the day after that on Sunday, we are expecting rain, but more importantly, we're expecting a camping day for the broilers and the turkey out on pasture. Looks like everybody's underneath the shade covers right now, but we have 9 turkey out on pasture and 24 broilers. And we have a scheduled freezer camp day for the broilers and the turkey on Sunday, which is 2 days away, and right now I don't have any way to get them over there. So today, we're building a livestock trailer. We do have to take a break on the mushroom coop. We were putting the roof on yesterday, and I'm still hoping to get some more screws in that ridge cap because I want to get that done before the rain comes Sunday. Because they're also calling for some high wind Sunday, so I want to try and get that buttoned up so nothing comes off. And oh look, we still have dahlias blooming. Even after a frost last night. Looking a little rough, but still gorgeous this time of year. Now I'm not going to be building an entire trailer, but we are going to be converting one that we already have into one that's going to be capable of carrying livestock. So we have a Mustang trailer here that my dad actually won years ago in a fire hall raffle. And this is a 10-foot by 5-foot trailer, so it's a really good size for the size of Homestead that I have. But in its state right now, it's obviously not going to be able to contain anything. So with the lumber that I have sitting on here, I did have to pick up from Lowe's, which was unfortunate. But with all the projects that I've done with all the scrap materials that we already have available, I've pretty much used up a lot of my longwood. I still have a few pieces that I'm saving for the right project, but I also don't have a lot of time to waste with this. We need to get this built before Sunday morning, and it's going to go a lot quicker with dimensional lumber. I also have some leftover black mesh that we were using on the mushroom coop that you guys sent in. Thank you so much for sending this in. I'm hoping I have some left on this roll that's going to be able to go across this whole cage. I just have to do the 4 sides, so it's only going to be about 30-35 feet once I wrap the corners. And it looks like I'm going to have enough of that mesh. So if we can build a box that's going to be about 4 feet tall, and we're going to use pretty much the whole trailer here. So we're going to go 5 foot by 10 foot by 4 foot high. And I'm thinking right now, just to cover the top, I might use lattice. That's going to offer more shade for them whenever they're in the sun, but it's also going to keep anything from getting out. It's not super complicated. We're gonna build a box and then we're gonna set it on this trailer. Yeah, my dad doesn't want me putting holes through the decking of the trailer, so I'm thinking we're just gonna use some straps. Once the box is on there, it's pretty much gonna take up the whole bed of the trailer, and we can just put a couple straps on there to keep it solid. You can hear him driving around right now with the backhoe. He's actually scooping up Duck Duck Hill right now and taking the dirt down to the neighbors. We have a couple neighbors that need some fill. Now I do have plans for Duck Duck Hill, so Duck Duck Hill will be coming back, but that's all the dirt that I dug out of the koi pond whenever we were making that. So it's not all topsoil, but it still is decent dirt with not a lot of rocks in it, so it's going to work out for filling a low spot. And I am projecting that I'm going to have more dirt than I'm going to have a use for here on the homestead. So if we can get some of that off to the neighbors, the better. But I need to stay focused. We only have 36 hours before this trailer has to be done. So I have 9 10-foot 2x4s and 8 8-foot 2x4s. But I did get some 2x4s to build this box, and we have 9 of them at 10 feet long and 8 of them at 8 feet long. So let's see what we can do. Pop. Thanks, Rooster. Puppy, I thought you were watching that end. All right, puppy, I think that's all for tonight. We're not quite done yet. I was only able to get the box made. We do have the front completely blocked off, and I did get a shade cover on it. We have a cage going around 3 sides. All I really have to do now is to make the back door. And if you saw last video, you know I don't have any door hinges, or I would have been doing a door on the mushroom coop yesterday. Good job, Rufio. But we have a box here, and it's actually meshed with 1/2-inch mesh all the way around, so we can pick up pretty much any size animal. Now with this trailer, we can take all the birds in, even probably the goats. I wouldn't trust taking the pigs in at the end of camping season, but in the early spring, we could definitely pick up some young pigs. I had this shade cover lying around. I honestly don't know if my dad got this for me or if you guys sent this in, but I had this lying around and it was a perfect size for this top. I need to add another screw here, get this all tightened up, but this is perfect. I didn't have any flat washers here, so I just used the blocks to hold it in place on the ends, and that worked out perfect for a shade cover for this. But we also have the chicken wire underneath, which is going to help hold that shade cover in place, and if that actually blows off, it's going to keep the animals inside too. Now my dad tried to get me a 4-foot roll of chicken wire to use on some projects, and it ended up being a 6-foot roll, and it does have these bigger gaps, so I really can't use it on many things. But with it being 6 feet and the trailer being 5 feet, it was a perfect match. Now I've been struggling with that staple gun. I can only put in a few staples at a time, and I really got to hold it right to get the staple to come out. But she did hold up. I couldn't have done it without her. We got the mesh on and the chicken wire all stapled tight. And I used all the lumber that I had sitting here except for one 8-foot board. And I'm going to need that and actually a little bit more to make the back door here and the inside divider door I'm planning on putting in. On Sunday, whenever we take the birds in, we're going to be taking the chickens and the turkey, and I don't want to put them all in the same box together. So I put a board in the middle there, and we're going to throw a divider up, and we're going to have the turkey on one side and the chickens on the other. What are you yelling about? I'm going to have to catch all 10 halflings out of that hemlock tree tonight. Roosters are chasing them right now, I think. Flying out of the tree. I don't know. I'm gonna have to close the barn up here soon. I'd like to actually try and eat dinner first tonight. I gotta get these tools put away and the mess cleaned up. Pup. You could be helping. You could be helping while you're out here, buddy. But we have a pretty good start on here. I even added this hemlock board on the front to try and keep the wind from getting up underneath the shade cloth. I have this thin piece of plywood up front here, and that's just to block the wind. We don't want that just being a big gust blowing the birds around. I may end up putting a design on the front of this. I was thinking about cutting out a design, but that might allow too much wind through, so I was also thinking about just painting something on there. Or just burn it. I'm not sure yet. But Echo's whining at me. We got to pick this up tomorrow. I'm going to have to go to the store tomorrow and pick up hinges, but then hopefully we can get this trailer wrapped up. Huh, ducks? We'll be right back. Pup. Alright, it's the next day. I emptied my life savings, but we have some hinges and we can make some doors to finish this livestock trailer. Huh, Pop? What do you think? You fit, huh? You fit in there. There's tons of space for animals. Oh, bud. Good boy. Let's make some doors. Alright guys, it's getting late, but I think we now have a usable livestock trailer. We have it fully enclosed now. Everything is looking really good. We have the shade cover on top if it gets sunny, but I think we're actually supposed to have a rainy day tomorrow. And now we have the doors in, and we actually have two sets of doors. One on the main door here, but we also have a divider door in there. Tomorrow we're going to be taking in the broiler chickens and the turkeys, so we want to have them separated in the trailer so we don't have the big turkeys stepping on the broilers. I tried to keep it as simple as I could here. I had to buy some hinges here to hang the doors, but I used bolt latches that I got off my grandma's farm. We have a simple door here with a cross brace and bolt latch just going down into a hole in the board. We can lift up here, and we have this plywood to keep it from going any further closed. And then on the inside here, right in the middle, we have another couple bolt latches and two doors. I didn't want to make one big door because I wouldn't be able to swing it out of the way easily. So I did two doors here, big bolt latch, little bolt latch, just for a little bit of support in the middle. And then I have a screw keeping it from going in. It only can go this way, and then you can fold it in half and get it completely out of the way. So you have full access going in there. And then you can close it off when you have the birds in and separate them off with the bolt latches here. Keep them from pushing the door around. Keeps it solid enough. Like I said, I don't think I would put pigs in here, but I think this will work for the goats. We'd just have to put the divider door across and the goats would be able to go in here. But I'm feeling good about this. We got this all set up and I think it's gonna work perfect for the birds tomorrow. Close that. And then whenever we're taking them in, we're gonna have to close the whole trailer up. Hopefully this still fits right in the hole. Right in the hole. We are set. That is a tight fit there. Now this should be pretty secure on the trailer, but just to make sure we don't have any shifting whenever we're going down the road, I think I'm gonna throw two ratchet straps over, just side to side. I don't have anything decorative on the front here yet, but I do have this tied in nice and solid. This will keep the wind from blowing the birds around on the trailer. I think the shade cover is secure enough up there. Now I think things are looking pretty good. I would like to put a sealer coat on this, make it a little bit more weatherproof. I just don't have enough time tonight. And I might do something decorative for the front. If you guys have any ideas, leave them in the comments down below. But we did it. We have a livestock trailer just in time for camping day. Pop. I know, it took a little bit longer than I was planning. Oh, you talking ducks? We got some ducks laughing out at the duck pond. We have a couple youngins answering them. All right, it is almost time to close up the barn, but tomorrow morning, bright and early, we're gonna be loading up the birds. And like always, I'm gonna be recording the loading process and them leaving the homestead, but we're not gonna be recording the processing. It'll be a bittersweet day anyway, but it feels good to get this trailer done. And if this inspired you to create a trailer into a livestock trailer, definitely let me know in the comments below. And like I mentioned, this is gonna make it a lot easier to pick up animals in the spring, so it's gonna be better all around. Come here, Pop, I wanna do an outro. But that's going to be all for this one. If you want to keep following along with everything here at Whitt Acres, make sure to subscribe down below. Hit that like button before you leave, and you can see me and Echo on the next one. Thanks for watching. Good boy. Report.